Blake Keylor here. So you help people, not only monetize their IG, but help them build it, and that's really important because, like I mentioned before, Instagram is not only a social media platform, but a business platform.
Hmm.
It's almost the first platform that you should download in terms of social media before downloading Facebook or TikTok. Now, before we even talk
Yeah.
about how you do that, kind of give us your 2 minute origin story of how you got into entrepreneurship.
Yeah. So I've always, kind of felt that I never really wanted to work a normal job or work that classic 9 to 5. And when I was about 15 years old, I made the decision that college wasn't right for me and that I wasn't going to go that route. And I was really going to try to start my own business and really become successful from there. So I tried a ton of different things. Every entrepreneur kind of tries to do like drop shipping and affiliate marketing and things like that. And they worked a little bit, but nothing really stuck until about 8 months ago. I was on Instagram just looking for mentors. I actually watched a video by Gary Vee just saying, just need to go and find mentors, work for them for free, and just learn from them. So I found this guy named Andres through Instagram. He had about 450,000 followers. I sent him a DM, wanted to learn more about what he was doing and see if he could help me in any way make some money online. He got on a call. He told me about Wi-Fi money and about what that kind of consisted of and how I was able to monetize my Instagram and grow it and actually make money from it. Then flash forward 2 months later, I joined the team. I've been getting mentored by him ever since, and I've been able to grow my Instagram organically and monetize it. And now, making a good amount of money through it.
So when you mean by monetizing, I mean, there's so many ways of
Hmm.
monetizing it. Either you legit own an e-commerce brand and you promote your product there, or you own a social media marketing agency, you promote your services there, or if you have a meme page, you can sell
Hmm.
shoutouts and whatnot. So
Yeah.
when you started monetizing it, what was the factor? What was the way that you did it?
So the way that I personally did it, again, like how we help people is the way that you say, help anybody want to do anything. But the way I personally do it is I use it to promote the services that I offer, as
Okay.
well as attract clients organically to my page. So I'll do some cold outreach. So I use it to sell the services that I have.
Okay.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like what comes first, the chicken or the egg. So do you
Hmm.
have to have the service first or build the audience, and then once you build that audience, you can sell to him or her, you know?
I would say to build that audience first, because once you have that audience and once you have all those people having their attention on you, then you can worry about finding a product or service. Because if you have a product or service but nobody watching, no one's going to buy it. So I would definitely say building up your brand and building up that audience is 100% the first step and monetizing everything.
Hmm. So you said that you didn't want to go to the 9 to 5, but you went to
Hmm.
college, but you ended up making 6 figures from IG. So
Hmm.
what was that step like? How long did it take? And what was the exact strategy, or what did you sell to make 6 figures?
Yeah. So I didn't go to college. I just decided that I was planning on it, and I decided not to. But yeah, the way I make 6 figures and the way I was able to monetize my Instagram was through not only selling services but making investments. So the main service that we offer 3 levels of helping people grow and monetize their page. And when you sell that, you get part of that to go straight to you. So that's how I was able to start making a lot of money through Instagram. And it took me a solid while. I mean, obviously, in entrepreneurship, it's not right away. It's not, you don't just make money and get clients right away. It was definitely a long journey, but I'd say it took me about 7 or 8 months.
Okay. And so you said that when you're working under or with your mentor, were you
Hmm.
selling his services under your name, kind of like affiliate marketing or getting a commission based off that?
So there's more so services to our whole company. So he's like another just top leader at our company. and
Yeah.
and what would go on is when I was first doing it, and even now I do it a lot too, we would kind of jump in and sell together for a client. So we'd kind of split it half and half through that.
Okay. So you don't necessarily have to sell your own legit like product or service. It can be someone else's as long as you know how to sell it in the first place, get that commission or get a percentage of
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. And the thing
Okay.
is, like, there's so many people that have products and services out there that either they want to sell more of, or they can't sell, or anybody will just use extra help. And so if you have a credible brand but you don't have a product and you know how to sell, just hit up as many people as you can. I'm sure, people would love to pay you commission for selling their products. It's just, again, more money in their pocket, and it helps out anyway. So yeah,
Hmm.
you don't really need a product or service of your own.
Okay, but just the way that you did it was that you had someone else's product and service and you sold that off your
Hmm.
personal account. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And is that really like the thing that you teach to like to your students, to everyone? Like, or is it kind of an all-around play where you can apply this to your own social media marketing agency, your own business sort of mentorship course, for example?
Hmm. Yeah, it's to everybody. Everybody's different. There's some people who want to partner with us and who have their own really defined product or really defined service, and they just want the help on branding and they want the growth. And so, we're like, you can get the growth, and then they want to go out and do their own thing. And so we just teach them how
Mm,
to better sell their own thing, even though they all have access and they're all opened up to the network. So they have access to our products that they can sell if need be. But there's a good amount of people that come to us that already have their product or service set, and they want to just sell that exclusively.
hmm So here's the thing: some entrepreneurs say that when they talk about IG growth, they say it's not the amount of followers you have, but just the right audience, the right amount of followers. Like you want to have the right people engaging in your content. Now, in your
Mhm.
opinion, what do you think is true? Do you prefer quantity of followers or the quality?
I this is a really controversial subject, 'cause I see the funny thing is I see a lot of entrepreneurs talking about that and saying that, but then they also purchase a lot of followers as well. So I would say quantity, because quality of followers is great, and that's obviously a big thing. But when you're approaching clients and you're approaching people cold through, whether that's DM or through a Facebook ad or something, most of the time they're not going to want to work with people. If you have 4,000 organic or loyal followers, that's great, but they're going to want to work with somebody who has 60, 100,000, I guess, not loyal followers, because that just looks better. So a lot of the followers is more for look, because when you see somebody with 4,000 followers, it's like, okay, they're kind of normal, they're doing, I guess, something right, but they're not too out of the box. And then you see somebody with 55, 60, 100,000 followers, they may not be the most quality of followers, but they're still followers to that account. And so people will take you more seriously and be more open to buying your product or service.
Okay, so it's really the whole play to get more followers to build more brand authority. I think that's the term, but kind of
Yeah,
build
and
up
credibility.
credibility. There we go. Okay.
Hmm.
And okay, so let's talk about how do you grow on IG, because like going back to what some entrepreneurs may say or content creators, they
Hmm.
said that you have to pay to play. I mean, growing on Instagram organically can be extremely tough unless you focus on Instagram Reels. But based off your experience, what are the ways or the best ways to grow on Instagram?
Yeah, you definitely do have to pay to play. I see it again, like, it's just, especially now with Instagram leaning more and more towards business owners and entrepreneurs, it's definitely a pay to play kind of thing, and it's something that you have to invest in, just like you'd invest back into your business. So the best ways to grow organically, like you said, the Instagram algorithm, it's nearly impossible unless you're like an actor or celebrity to really grow big. And so one of the things that we've done and that I've taken advantage of, and that a lot of other business owners have, is using the power of influencers. So all these celebrities who already have this following, paying them and allowing them to promote your page and driving their followers to your page. And then that way you drive a lot of traffic and you can grow organically really, really fast, as
Hmm.
opposed to just letting it set and just hoping that your content will blow up and gaining a few thousand followers throughout the years. You can gain, 100,000
Yeah.
in a week.
So this may be controversial, but do you believe that you could or should buy maybe 1,000 followers just to get the momentum going? Because people like they might say like if you buy followers, they may not be the right ones, and your engagement might
Mhm.
not show, and people can catch that. But if you kind of just do it just to get the ball rolling, you can build momentum and grow more organically. If that makes sense. So what do you think on
Yeah,
on that
I would
front?
say I would say the best place to start out is at least getting to 10,000 followers. So whether that means you have to buy 1,000 or you have to buy 10,000, I would say getting to 10,000 followers and having that K next to your name is
Hmm.
a very big launching point, and is something to definitely experiment, because that's when people start to really take you seriously and start to take notice of
Okay.
your account. So I'd say the best way to start is to, yeah, I mean, get to around 10,000 followers. And as for engagement, a lot of people, there's some people who really focus on engagement and who really go down and look at your page and say, oh, your engagement doesn't match or things like that. But it's more so about the quality of your content and the quantity of your content. If you're posting really great stories, really good pictures, you have great highlights, people are going to focus on that a lot more than they focus on your likes and comments.
Okay, so you think it's okay to buy followers at least in the beginning, and then from there, focus on creating quality content, stories, and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I think personally, I mean, I'm just going to continue buying and investing into my account, investing into
Mm-hmm.
followers. I never really see enough, I never see a point where I'm like, okay, I have enough followers. I always want to just, if the opportunity is out there for me to grow, even if it's 10,000 more followers, I'm going to take it, because it's just
Okay.
more and more people coming to my page.
And do you actually see an ROI even if those followers aren't the followers that you want, even for your
Mhm.
clients or the people that you work with?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if anything, it adds a lot to the credibility of your page, and
Okay.
having that credibility, it makes it, more likely that a client's going to actually want to work with you. So I can definitely see an ROI, a good amount of times. I mean, most of my followers aren't my ideal client and aren't the people that are going to purchase my, package, but it gives more credibility. And I've had a few followers who want to, do it that I've gotten from giveaways, but more so it adds on to that credibility that you get when you approach a client.
Okay. So for people who do want to buy followers, I feel that there can be a lot of sites that can easily scam you, right? But
Mhm.
what are some trusted sources or trusted sites that you can utilize to grow your following?
Yeah, you have to be careful. I would say never ever try to buy bots. Bots are That's the worst thing that you can do to your account. It's going to get you banned. It's never buy bots. I would say, for me, I kind of had to learn the hard way and I had to get scammed a few times or get underwhelmed and things like that. I would say, look for celebrities that are doing giveaways because they do them a lot, and try to find some of the top agencies. Usually you can find pretty easily when a celebrity promotes a giveaway who the actual agency is and then who the owners of the agency are. So I would say just search for those and try to find some of the biggest agencies out there. And then from there, you can find a lot of their clients, and that's how I did it. At least you can find a lot of
Hmm.
their old clients and message them and kind of get real advice from people who don't have anything to gain from you buying followers from that agency.
Yeah.
So it's definitely an experimental thing.
Hmm. And I think you mentioned collaboration. So I think some people they can get a shout out from Millionaire Mentor, and they can
Mhm.
get a lot of followers there. So is that another thing that you suggest?
Yeah, for sure. That's one of the best things. That's one of the best ways to get followers that will turn to clients is finding those higher accounts and those really big influencer accounts that are in your niche, because then you know that everybody's following that page for the
Hmm.
same reason that you're following them, because they're in your niche. So doing those niche specific shout outs are definitely one of the best ways to get followers and get traffic to your page from people who are interested in your product and who are most likely to buy your product or service.
Okay, so that's one of the ways. What's another good
Mhm.
way that you suggest? Like, what are some like I guess pick three of the main ways to grow your IG.
Yeah. So honestly, I mean, there's really only two ways, and that's through that niche growth and
Hmm.
through celebrity giveaways. I would say
Okay.
those are the only two big ones, and those are the really only ways to organically grow your Instagram. Again, you can buy bots and get banned, or you can continue to post content and kind of hope that it blows up one day. But the big two ways are using those big accounts that are in your niche, or using big celebrities and influencers to promote your page.
Mm, okay. And how does that work if you're just a personal brand? Because I can see that if you're a product or service, say
Hmm.
you have a water bottle brand or,
Yeah.
and then you can have an influencer promote that. But in terms of promoting a personal brand or a coach who's trying to sell a service, how do
Hmm.
you give a shout out? Like, how does that work? What's the
So
anatomy?
how that works is an influencer will, on a random day, they usually set up months after you buy it, but an influencer will post to their feed and they'll say, they're giving away something. So I've seen a lot of PS5s lately, or it'll be Louis
Hmm.
Vuitton bags, cash, anything. They'll do a giveaway and they'll say, in order to enter this giveaway, if you guys want to have a chance to win all these prizes, go to this account and follow everybody they're following. And it's usually a list of like 50 to 90 people.
Mm.
And that's how you grow your brand, is you pay to get in that list of 50 to 90 people that this big influencer is telling their audience to go follow. And so that's with a personal brand. That's how you grow that.
Okay, that makes sense. And
Mm-hmm.
when you do that, I feel that it's easier said than done because you have to like direct message them and kind of tell them what to post. I feel like for influencer marketing, you
Mm-hmm.
can't just throw in a simple, I guess, post. You kind of have to have some logistics, kind of plan out what you're going to post and what he or she is going to say to be on that list, right? Or what?
Well,
How does
most
that?
of the time, if you're just interested in growing your following, there's a lot of agencies who take care of that for you, and you buy it from the agency. So the
Mm-hmm.
agency will, it's usually agencies and not just one specific person. It's usually a really big social media marketing agency that contacts an influencer and their team and gets it set up, and then you're the one, or they're the ones that you buy it from. So they have all that done. You just buy it from them, and then they put you in the giveaway, and they kind of control everything.
Okay, that makes sense. Now,
Hmm.
let's go to the monetization part. Now,
Hmm.
when you monetize it, do you need to have something in the back end to sell your product or service? So, for example, you have an e-commerce shop, you obviously have a Shopify store, or if you're trying to sell a course, you have a Teachable link or a Udemy account that has your course. So, how
Hmm.
important is the back end? So, I guess in your example, what did you do to sell your services?
Yeah. So what I did is I really learned for months and months, and I'm still learning every day, how to do organic messaging. I think too many people rely on Facebook ads or just people coming to them to sell their products and get underwhelmed. One of the best skills that you can learn when you're trying to grow your brand on Instagram or trying to sell more is learn how to organically message people. So find people that you think your product or service would benefit and message them, and learn how to turn the conversation into a sale and turn it into a business platform. So, and also have a link in your bio, like you said, like a Teachable link or a Shopify store. Have a link in your bio and just organic message anybody and everybody that you can. And so that's how I did it. And I'm still learning today. I just organically message people all the time. And usually it's just to make a connection with people and just to learn how people are and what their business is like. But a good amount of times they'll always ask what your business is, and you can tell them. And if they're interested, they're interested.
Hmm. So, you think that one of the ways to sell, like say you have the audience, say you have that figured out. Now, when it
Hmm.
comes down to selling something, you said you can do the Facebook ads or you can directly message people organically through IG,
Hmm.
make a sale through there. What's another way? Can you just simply put out a post and maybe hope that people buy your product or service?
Yeah, you can
Promote it.
definitely put out a post and pay to promote it. That
Hmm.
that can work a good amount of times, but I've never really seen any other way that works more than organically messaging. So you can put out a post, you can put out a story, and that way those are two other ways to sell your product. But organic messaging is definitely the top way to do it. Just learn how to talk to people, learn how to make connections, and a good amount of times, they're not going to want to buy right away, but you have that connection and you have that foundation built. And
Hmm.
so, months down the line, they'll most likely want to buy your service, and you can kind of direct it from there.
Okay. And what did you use for your landing page? Like, how did they go from like finding you, trusting you, and then hitting that buy button, and then you getting that money?
Yeah. So what I
Mhm.
do is I never really close deals through the DMs, both
Okay.
for them and for me. It's hard to build a lot of trust through the DMs. I have a link, just like your Calendly link. I have a link where people can schedule a call, and it can be anywhere from one call to 4 or 5 calls, and people just schedule that call. There's a drop down list with a lot of questions that people answer, and then we get on a 20 to 30 minute phone call and connect more. So that's really the big factor in it, is you got them message, you got them somewhat interested in your service, you give them the Calendly link, and that's the thing that goes from they're kind of interested to, okay, they're ready to buy, is that 1 30-minute phone call.
Okay. Let's kind of rewind a bit. So when you were in college, you say you dropped out, but at what moment were you like, okay, this is serious. I'm making money. I don't have to go to school anymore and get a 9 to 5 job. I can do this for however long I want. I made it.
It was this year. It was a few months
Oh
ago. I was
wow.
applying to college, and I was right about to start. It was right in like August, and that's when I just took the chance. honestly, like I wasn't making a ton of money at that point. I really wasn't making enough for it to be like a telltale decision that I was going to drop out and this was I can make more than my professors. It was really just a kind of either I pour all my time into college and hope that I can get a good degree and get a good job right out of the gate, or I pour all of my time into this business and hope that it becomes successful.
And it worked out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's still building and it's still trying to
Hmm.
work, but yeah, it's amazing.
Do you still keep tabs with your mentor, or do you kind of branch out into your own thing?
Oh yeah, for sure. I literally got on a call with him today. Yeah, he still mentors me again. I still have a lot to learn. I mean, I haven't been in this business for even a year yet, so I still have a ton to learn about sales, about Instagram, about money,
Hmm.
about everything. So I talk to him almost every single day. He still teaches me a lot, and it's still really helping me.
So for any aspiring entrepreneur or entrepreneur that wants to get better, do you think that you have to set aside your ego and find someone who's better than you or who's been there and done that, and work for them for free, or try to get in their network to like know them and be better?
100%, 100. I literally had to do that. I thought back in the summertime and early like quarantine that I could do it all on my own and that I knew what I was doing. And I to become successful, you do really have to kind of put aside your ego, admit that you really don't know as much as you think you know. And yeah, definitely try to get with somebody and get mentored by somebody who has done everything that you want to do. You know, my mentor has done everything that I want to do and has become as successful as I want to be. And so he's the best person to learn from. So yeah, definitely setting aside your ego and just being committed to learning as much as you can is one of the best things that you can do.
And so you said you literally found your mentor uh, on Instagram. You DM'd them.
Yeah.
So is that one of the best ways to find a mentor? Just finding someone on IG and hoping that, because that guy had a 450,000 followers, so he may or may not respond back at all.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's honestly, you'd really be surprised how many of these big guys actually check their DMs and really reply. So yeah, go and just find as many people as you can. I'd suggest like making a like bookmark folder in your Instagram and just highlighting as many profiles as you can and just DMing them as much as you can and or as many, entrepreneurs as you can and seeing who replies. I'd say that there's a really good chance that they'll reply. A lot of those entrepreneurs, especially on Instagram, reply to most, if not all, messages. So that's definitely something to do.
So of course, when you have a mentor, it acts as a catalyst to get to where you want to be a lot faster, right? Of course, you can do it
Hmm.
yourself, but it may take a long time to get to that level. Now, what
Hmm.
were some nuances or some insights that you learned from your mentor to get to where you are today?
One of the things that I really learned, and one of the biggest things that's helped me the most, is to never try to sell anybody. Never go into a conversation looking for a sale, because for one, people are going to notice it right away. If you go into a conversation looking for a sale and looking for a close, people are going to spot how fake you are and how you're looking for a sale. And yeah, it just people never really want to reply to you if you're just looking for a sale. It doesn't feel genuine. So one of the best things that I've been taught is to create genuine connections as much as I can and go into conversations just looking to learn and looking to just plainly connect with that person. And if they're interested in buying your service, cool. And if they're not, still great. We're
Okay.
friends and we can talk. So that's one of the best things I've learned is never try to go for a sale, never try hard to sell. Just try to make genuine connections, try to really connect with as many people as possible. And you're pretty much guaranteed to see some success from that.
Hmm. So you mentioned that you had a calendar link so people can call you, and then from
Hmm.
there you establish a connection, and then further down that route you could sell your product or service. Now that's one
Hmm.
way, but do you have like an official link, a backend site where people can go to and buy your products or services directly, or is it only through the phone call first?
I'd say it's only through a phone call first, just
Okay.
because I need to. It's not really something that you can just like deliver right away. It's more something where if I'm going to help this person, because it's not really like I just give them the growth and then okay, you're done, move
Hmm.
along. With every person that I sell to and every person I try to get on board, it's always I need to create a connection with that person. I need to know where that person's head is at. I need to make sure that this person is really ready to go. So usually it's always got to be through a phone call, or at least really good messaging through Instagram, because I need to
Okay.
make sure, and I need to trust this person as well. I mean, we're both taking time out of our day, and a lot of time and a lot of money to make sure that this person becomes successful and is able to monetize their brand. And so, you need to know that that person's really serious about it and is ready to put in work.
So do you bring them the whole like 10 yards? So not only do you help them build their IG, but do you also help them monetize it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
So what we do is, depending on, how much they want to pay, depends on the growth that they get, but it also comes with two courses, one that just shows you the basics of branding and how you can brand yourself, as well as another course that goes through the ins and outs of how to sell in the DMs and how to get more clients through DMs. But yeah, and then it comes to just a branding consultation, which you go through every single thing you want to do with your brand. We help you out with that and figure out what's best for your brand and how you can best promote and sell your products. And then you get like some one-on-one mentorship for a little bit. So you go the whole 9 yards of learning how to sell your product, the best ways to sell your product, how to build your brand around your product, how to promote it, and then you also get the growth as well. So it's
Yeah.
everything you need.
Because I was gonna say growing it, I mean, let me know if I'm wrong here. Growing it could be easier, but having to sell your product or service can be a lot harder, especially if you're just a beginner,
Oh
So
yeah, 100%. Before I joined the team, I grew my page to about 15,000 followers, and I was trying really hard to sell, but I had no idea how. I was just kind of going on my own and trying to sell how I thought was best, and I made zero sales because I had no idea what I was doing. I grew my page and I had the followers and I had the credibility, but I didn't know really how to brand myself. I didn't know how to talk to people through DMs. So that accounted in making no sales. So getting the growth is just as important as learning how to brand yourself and learning how to sell through the DMs.
hmm
They mix, you can't have one without the other.
yeah. So you said that you can't really force a sell. You can't expect anything.
Hmm.
That's a salesman.
Yeah, yeah, you can't force a sale, and when I say sell through the DMs, that's always, you know, I tell people what I do, and then they become interested and they ask me more about it and they want to buy it. But you can never, yeah, if you force a sale, it's just going to turn somebody off, and people don't really like being sold to. If somebody
hmm
comes to you and just immediately doesn't even try to learn your name, doesn't try to learn where you're from or anything, and just starts selling you right away, you're going to kind of be turned off by that and not really want anything to do with this guy. And really, I mean, when a client sees that and when you're trying to sell to that client, they know you just see them as a dollar sign. They just see you as a customer instead of an actual person. So never trying to sell and really trying to make genuine connections is always the way to go.
hmm And how important, I think you have a few testimonials on your Instagram stories, but for anyone who
Hmm.
has a service-based business, how important or do you emphasize having testimonials?
For sure. Yeah. There's a lot of people who, you know, the following is great and, your stories and content is great for building trust, but they do want that extra trust of learning more and knowing more people who have bought your service and seen good results. So, yeah, testimonials is a huge thing and one of the best things you can do. One of the best ways for testimonials is if you have a client that really liked your product or service, just ask them to record a video of themselves talking about the success they had with their service, putting that on your story. That's really, really going to help. And then highlighting that on your page, that's going to help a lot with building trust.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think if you promote
Mhm.
yourself, people can be like, yeah, yeah. But if someone else talks about you, then it kind of brings a lot more credibility.
Exactly. It's always through those people, you want to, and this is the same way when I was trying to learn in what I say when you're trying to learn what giveaways are best and what followers are best. Go talk to people who have bought the service and who have nothing to gain from you buying it yourself. People who aren't making a commission off your sale or who aren't actually running the giveaway. Just talk to people who have bought the service and who are genuinely happy about it. That's one of the best
hmm
ways to build trust and to find trust.
hmm So, out of curiosity, is it better to have your own personal brand or account as a business page or a business account? Like, does it affect your engagement if you have yourself as a business account?
I haven't seen it really
No.
affect engagement at all. I mean, the only thing that I really see is one, people, there's that little tag below your name that can
Yeah.
just give people a little bit more insight. And then you can also just see your engagement on its own. You can see where your followers are from, how many are engaging, but I haven't seen it affect engagement in any way.
Hmm. So you as an entrepreneur, what are your ambitions? Of course, you're making money through Instagram, but is your ambition to, monetize it even more? Or do you want to like spread out into other sectors for like maybe secure your money? Because like you said, you're a college dropout, you're making
Mhm.
money, but again, you want to stay away from that. So do you have strategies, long-term investment strategies or other businesses that you're working on at the same time or what?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the great things about again building those connections through Instagram and talking to as many people as possible is you also get a lot of people who are in different business fields who have different opportunities to invest. So for example, for me, I know a lot of people who invest into real estate, or people who are in e-commerce and do Amazon automation and Walmart automation and things like that. And those are investments that you can make that have high returns. So definitely, yeah. I mean, there's always room for passive investments and things like that. So more so, I'm looking towards learning how to invest in real estate in the upcoming years, as well as getting an automated Walmart or Amazon store. So yeah, those are the two things that I'm really looking towards to
Hmm.
secure my money and build my money. Because
Yeah.
having one income stream isn't the smartest option. It's always good to branch out and have multiple income streams in case one or two fails.
Yeah. And do you have
Mhm.
any sort of strategy where you leverage other social media platforms? So, for example, like YouTube or TikTok to grow your Instagram account, or you don't have to?
You don't really have to. I mean, it's a great bonus. If you have a TikTok that blows up or that gets really big, it's great to promote your Instagram and you can get a lot of followers from that. But I don't have a big following on TikTok or on YouTube, so I can't really
Hmm.
comment on that. I don't know much about it. But if you have a big following and you're able to promote it and get some followers from that, then you know anything helps.
Dope, dope. So, Blake, do you have any, say, resources, blogs, YouTube channels, or books that you recommend for anyone, for any aspiring entrepreneurs trying to grow their personal brand or their business?
Yeah, I would say one of the big books is a book called 1 Million Followers in 30 Days. It's by Brendan Kane. Another one is one that I've actually read a lot, is called The Power of Positive Thinking. It's more so mindset than it is entrepreneur. I think part of being an entrepreneur in business, one of the biggest parts is having your mindset right, especially at the start. And that's why I think Power of Positive Thinking has helped me the most, is because it's very easy at the start. It's insanely difficult to build your business, and build it from the ground up. And it can be very easy to get, what's the word? Get discouraged and
Hmm.
lose motivation because you're not seeing the results right now. And so keeping that positive mindset and staying affirmed that you're going to be successful and it's going to work out is very powerful. And one of the things that's helped me stick through it and keep running, because there were a good amount of times where I really wanted to quit and I really thought it wasn't worth it and it wasn't going to work out. But those books and a lot of the techniques I learned from that book have been amazing and have really helped me continue moving and helped me put in the right mindset to win and to succeed.
Dope, dope. So I'll definitely put that in the show notes. I haven't read those books at all, but I do think, yeah, as an entrepreneur, there's a lot of glitz and glamour around it, but we don't really know what everyone's going through. And there's definitely a challenge, in terms of
Hmm.
mindset to get to where you want to be. Of course, there's lucky people who hit it off right away, but for the most part, it's usually a grind and you kind of have to go through that and to be a
Hmm.
successful entrepreneur, right? Now, Blake,
Exactly.
if people want to like say learn more about you or grow and monetize your Instagram, where can they
Hmm.
do that? Where can they hit you up?
So they can go to my Instagram. My Instagram is just at Blake. It's BlakeYLOR. So it's my first and last name combined.
Hmm.
They can look me up, as well as go to wifimoney.com and learn more about our services and what we offer. And if you're very interested, you can schedule a call with me. My Calendly link is in my bio. And yeah, that's all the resources.
Dope. So I'll put all that in the show notes so people can hit you up on Calendly or just follow you on IG and learn how to grow on IG and monetize it. I think it's a good
Perfect.
way.
Thank you.
So Blake, man, I really do appreciate it. Thanks,
For
bro.
sure, man. Thank you so much for having me on.
Anytime.